The new year is upon us, which means we're getting tons of new TV shows, so I'm going to rank them all by my excitement. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. So today I have a big old tier list of the upcoming 2026 TV shows based on my excitement. I've got around 20 on here, and they range from shows that I've already seen and have new seasons coming out, to some new shows, and even certain shows that I have a little bit of catching up to do, or homework. I got my tiers right in front of me, and I'm ready to dive in, but before I do, hit that like button, comment down below what TV shows in the year 2026 you were the most excited to watch, and of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 200,000 subscribers here on the channel. It'd mean quite a bit. All right, so the tiers I have are Need It Now, I'm excited, I'm curious, don't care, and catch up on. That means it's a show that has a new season coming out, and I would have some homework to do because I haven't seen any of it thus far. Starting off, we've got Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now, I quite enjoyed Daredevil Born Again Season 1. The needle drop in the finale by Radiohead, everything in its right place, still sends chills down my spine as we get a Matt Murdock voiceover, setting the darker tone for Season 2. I know Jessica Jones is coming in. It seems like all hell might break loose this season, and it's really not going to have to do all the work of Season 1 when it came to sort of establishing this world, or should I say re-establishing this world and dipping our toes in the water again. We can hit the ground running with Season 2. I think it's going to be a step up from Daredevil Born Again Season 1. I'm straight up excited. I'm excited to see what's next in this world. I believe it comes out in March, so we're getting a season a year at this rate. Hell yeah to that. With Jessica Jones being brought back in and the potential for other vigilantes as well as connections with the Punisher, maybe even ramifications on the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day, there's a lot to be excited about, and Kingpin seems unstoppable. He is a madman, and I'm ready to see more of that in this world. Next up, we've got Bridgerton Season 4. My fiance loves Bridgerton, and Benedict is her favorite. This season focuses on Benedict and Sophie falling in love. It's very Cinderella from what I gather. Honestly, I'm going to say I'm curious. I'm curious to see if this can be better than Season 3. Season 3 was not my cup of tea with Colin and Penelope. Just didn't do it for me. I think it was by far the weakest of the 4 Bridgerton seasons. That, of course, being Season 1, 2, 3, and Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story. I'm actually curious about this one. I have hope, and I think it could definitely be my personal favorite because I tend to like that character as well, Benedict, but Anthony, played by Jonathan Bailey, is going to be hard to top. That was Season 2. That's my favorite of all the seasons so far. Moving on, we've got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. Season 1 came out last year, about a year ago now. It ended up being pretty delightful. I had zero expectations for an animated Disney Plus show about Spider-Man. I was like, we're kind of in an oversaturated market for Spider-Man, right? We've got the video games, we've got the Spider-Verse movies, we've got Tom Holland's rendition of the character. Do we really need more? And this show kind of proved me wrong. I really just appreciated how it was a lot younger of a Spider-Man. It's a coming-of-age story. They did a great job of making it feel like a comic book, and there's so much potential here. Like, they built this world from the ground up, and there is endless potential for all sorts of villains and arcs for characters that could show up in this show, and they can play around with the multiverse as well and have fun with it. I'm going to say I'm curious about the second season. I'm going to go right here. Pretty curious to see what they can cook up and if the season can maybe get better and better. And as you guys see, apparently Spider-Gwen, or Gwen Stacy, will be featured in this new season. Always down for more of her, especially in animated form. She's great in the Spider-Verse films. Moving on, we've got A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is another one of the Game of Thrones spinoffs. Loved Game of Thrones to a certain point. I think Season 8 definitely massacred a lot of the show, but I still have such fond memories of the early goings that I'm always going to give an upcoming Game of Thrones project a chance, even if I feel down tremendously, all right, post Season 8. And I don't know if that void in my heart will ever be filled. But you got House of the Dragon, an upcoming season that I'll talk about later in this tier list. I'm looking right now. I'm kind of curious, but I'm kind of like on the tier. I think I'm going to put it in the tier just because we already have a Game of Thrones spinoff, one that's going pretty strong, but one that also has the potential to disappoint. I thought Season 2 was definitely a step down and a bit of an underwhelming finale. I hope the premiere of Season 3 is great for House of the Dragon. Again, we'll talk about that momentarily. But Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I've heard it's a little more lighthearted, if you can even say that about something in the Game of Thrones world. It's still going to be R-rated, obviously, and you know, TVMA, but I just don't know what I'm getting into here. I'm not familiar with this tale, but it seems like it might be the least Game of Thrones of all the series we have in terms of the power plays, right? The politics of it all. I am on it. Like, I'm going to give it a chance probably, but I'm not like outright excited or even really curious just because we already have another, you know, Game of Thrones prequel spinoff that I'm more intrigued by.
What the salami?
Moving on, we have The Burrows. This is a Netflix original. The reason I have it on here is it's produced by the Duffer Brothers. Alfred Molina is in the cast. He plays, you know, Doc Ock in Spider-Man. There's a lot of potential for the show. Honestly, you've piqued my interest. My curiosity is there. I'm going to go right here, and I'm curious just because the Duffers name, you know, is attached to it. They're not the creators of the show. They're not heavily involved, but the fact that they're producing it has me somewhat excited. It sounds like it is some sort of sci-fi thriller set at a retirement home, could involve the extraterrestrial, could involve alien life. It sounds like it's going to be pretty trippy. I don't know when it comes out. It might not even end up coming out this year, but from what I read, it is slated for a potential 2026 release. So honestly, I gotta say, I'm curious about this one, right? Anything the Duffer Brothers, who of course created Stranger Things, are involved with, it's automatically going to have my curiosity, so I have to put it in that tier. Next, we have Outer Banks Season 5, P4L, baby! I love this show with my whole heart, and this is one of the Netflix shows coming to an end in 2026. I feel like we're losing a lot lately, right? We lost Cobra Kai, Stranger Things, and Squid Game all in the year 2025. Now we got to say goodbye to Outer Banks in 2026, and it's been one hell of a ride, one great journey. I need this now. I'm putting it up there. This is one of my most anticipated shows for the year. Goes without saying. I have loved every season, as ridiculous as it gets, as, you know, outrageous as it gets, frankly. You really have to turn your brain off for the believability of it all sometimes. I'm here for the teen drama, for the Pogue life, and sort of the summer chill vibes the show provides. Like, there's something special about Outer Banks. Is it absolutely absurd at times? Certainly, and I'm not going to deny that, but I kind of eat that up, and that adds to the charm of the show, in my opinion, right? It's this over-the-top dramatic show where they're treasure hunting. It's got, like, hints of national treasure. I could watch 30 seasons of Outer Banks. I'd never get sick of it. I hope they bring it back after it ends. Like, I will watch this show forever, as absurd and ridiculous as it gets. Plus, the stakes are the highest they've ever been going into season 5. The gang wants revenge for the death of a certain someone. I won't say who if you somehow aren't caught up, but need it now. I am ready for some new Outer Banks, and it comes out hopefully over the summer. That's the most fitting time of year to release a new season of that show, in my opinion. Next, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 live action. I'm going to go ahead and put this in catch up on because I have not seen the first season of the Netflix show. Now, I grew up watching the original Avatar, but to be completely honest, it's been well over a decade since I have ventured into that world, and so I'm very out of the loop. I need to revisit the original animated show before I watch the live action show. That's why I say I have to catch up on. I have some homework to do before I can watch this new season. But if it's something you guys would be interested in seeing me cover, let me know in the comments down below, and I might do some homework so that I can check out the new season of the live action show and maybe review it and do reactions potentially. Moving on, we've got House of the Dragon Season 3. It's about damn time. We're getting a season about every 2 to 3 years at this rate, which is fine. That's the new norm for TV, and it's sad. That's just the world we live in. I am excited for this with a caveat. So I'm going to put it in I'm excited in the back right here, but there is sort of an asterisk because I don't know if it's going to live up to what they've set up. Like, they have really developed this world. A lot of season 2 was slow moving, in my opinion, with Damon just kind of wandering through this castle. So I'm like, are we going to see any payoff? They set up this big epic battle at the end of season 2. We didn't get to see that. So they're kind of testing my patience, and I hope that the plot moves forward a bit more this season, because season 2, I'm not saying it went nowhere, but it was a lot of meandering and definitely a lot slower than season 1. It's lost a bit of the intrigue as well, whereas season 1, you're kind of getting half the season with the younger version of these characters, getting to know them. Then you have the time jump. Will season 3 sort of return to the roots of season 1 and give us more of those battles as well? I know that's not everything we need in this world, but it is certainly a selling point in my opinion. Now, season 2 did have one of the best episodes of the entire show, and to me, one of the best episodes in the Game of Thrones world. It was out of this world, but I want to get back to that level. Can we reach those heights of some of the best episodes of Thrones and some of the best episodes of House of the Dragon? I'm excited, but there is that asterisk there as well. Next, we have Vision Quest. I honestly don't care. Will I watch it? Probably, but it's hard for me to care. I'm putting it right here. I'm kind of done with the character of Vision. If you guys have followed the channel for any time, WandaVision didn't really do it for me. I thought they kind of butchered the ending, and I don't know how many more times we're going to go back to the character of Vision. I think this is following the White Vision character at the end. Billy and Tommy might be involved, and it could even pull some things from Agatha all along, but I'm kind of burnt out on feeling like I have to watch everything from the MCU because I never thought I'd reach this point, but a lot of the MCU shows feel like homework now. And I was fighting against that standpoint for a while in like the 2021 era and 2022, but now that it's been years of having them and seeing the product they're putting out on Disney Plus with a lot of these Marvel shows, I just feel obligated to watch a lot of them, and I have some catching up to do. I fell behind in 2025 with some of these Marvel shows, which is the first time that's ever happened, so maybe it's just a sign of the times, but I just don't really care about a Vision show. He's not the most compelling character, and they've already killed him like 3 times, so I'm good. Like, we can chill off of Vision, in my opinion, and I don't know what story they're even going to have to tell here. Moving on, we've got Stranger Things Tales from 85. That's right, we are getting an animated spin-off set within the world of Stranger Things this calendar year. We don't have a release date. It could be spring, it could be summer, hell, it could be the fall. I think it'd be kind of fitting to drop it on July 15th, which would be the anniversary, the 10-year anniversary, mind you, of Stranger Things' first ever premiering on Netflix. This is actually set between seasons 2 and 3, and it has all of the OG party, 11, Max. It's this gorgeous world of animation. I'm curious to see what stories there are to tell, but in a recent live stream, someone brought up a damn compelling point. They were like, what if this show is just Mike's retellings of his stories growing up, and they're like these fictionalized stories because he goes on to become an author in the world of Stranger Things, right? And he's writing these stories. What if that's what we're seeing here? And so it's technically canon as Mike wrote these stories, but they don't actually impact the events of Stranger Things. I think that'd be a really clever route to take. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say I need this now. I just want anything I can get from the world of Stranger Things. It's my favorite show of all time. I'm still grieving the end of the show. I'll take as much as I can get from this world. I need this show now. I'm going to put it right up here. I'm putting Outer Banks above it because that is the final season, but of course, I'm ready for more Stranger Things in the world of Hawkins. Next, we've got One Piece Season 2. This is, of course, the live-action adaptation on Netflix of the original anime. I've not seen the original anime, but I've heard nothing but great things, and this seems to be one of the major Netflix shows moving forward that they're really going to push. I know Sholomere Duena, who plays Miguel Diaz in Cobra Kai, which never dies, by the way, has been cast in the 3rd season, so it seems like a show that I might need to catch up on. I'm going to put it down there in that tier right now. Let me know if you guys would be interested again in seeing me cover this later in the spring. Moving on, we've got Wonder Man. This is the first of the Marvel Disney Plus shows this year, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen. You've got a great cast. Ben Kingsley reprising the role of Trevor Slattery, who was redeemed in Shang-Chi. Of course, he was the fake Mandarin in Iron Man 3, but this seems like it's a different approach. It's more of a comedy with drama elements. Not sure exactly what this show's going to entail, but it does have my curiosity going, so I'll put it like right here in the back of I'm curious. Of course, a lot of the MCU Disney Plus shows have solid marketing. They can get you sold, but they kind of fall flat in execution. That's still my worry with this show, Wonder Man. The marketing's been solid. It's been a bit clever as well, but I'm just curious more than anything, can they actually stick the landing and deliver it? Now, next we have Invincible Season 4. This is going to ruffle some feathers, okay? I was in the minority. I didn't care for Season 3 at all, and I'm kind of burnt out on the show. I'm putting this in don't care, and you know, I know there's a lot of Invincible fanboys out there, and that's totally cool. I know a lot of people love the show. Again, I'm in the minority, but I'm just very put off with decisions they've made, and I feel like the world with this story has become too big for its own good, where there's just way too much going on. I know there's tons of source material, and they might run this thing for 10 seasons from what I've read. At that point, my interest will be fully gone. I really don't even intend to check out Season 4. I might just, you know, pump the brakes for me personally on Invincible and maybe check back in after this season once it's all out. But even then, I'm just not interested. There are lots of other shows that I would want to watch before this one, and that's just my personal opinion. I think the better of the Amazon Prime original superhero shows by far is The Boys. And Season 5 comes out next year, starts premiering in April. I can't wait. This is going in Need It Now. It's going right at, actually, I'm going to put that at the top of Need It Now just because it is the final season with the highest stakes. I've been watching this show since I believe 2019. I caught on with Season 2 when it was coming out live. Just such a cleverly done show that's always had a commentary about modern society, politics, just the state of current events in the world, but it cleverly kind of pokes fun at the superhero genre as well. With the expansion of this world, including Gen V, the first 2 seasons of that, I really am all in, and those characters are going to play a role here in the final season of The Boys as well. Homelander's completely unhinged. The world within this story is at a very dark place, and it seems like there's going to be bloodshed, and I'm pretty confident in saying this will be a show that kills some major characters in the end. It's going the Game of Thrones route. I don't see a world where Homelander lives. I don't see a world where Butcher lives. I think there will be blood spilt, and it will be the epic final season we're all hoping for. I am saying I need it now. It is easily one of my most anticipated pieces of media moving into this year. Even though Season 4 was a bit weaker and probably the worst season of The Boys, it ended on such a high note for me with like the final 25 minutes of that finale that everything is set up, and I'm ready to see them bring this thing to a close with some unhinged character moments and kills. Next, we have Euphoria Season 3, which is coming back after, I believe, a 4-year hiatus. I don't really care, but I'm going to put it in catch up on because I've never seen Euphoria, and I don't know if I ever will at this point. I've heard that it's not worth it. I've heard some people say, yeah, it's fine, but it's not worth your time. I know it's got all the acclaim, and Zendaya's won awards for playing the main character. It's just a show that I would have to catch up on if I actually wanted to be in tune for this upcoming season. Next, we have X-Men 97 Season 2. Another one that I technically have to catch up on, but I'm putting it at the top of catch up on because I have seen the first 6 episodes, I want to say, and I reacted to them over on my Patreon. If you're interested in seeing that, I will probably finish that out before the new season comes out. I was enjoying the ride. I just got busy with other things, and it's one of those shows that kind of fell to the wayside. Like, you're watching a show, you're interested, but then you forget to watch an episode one week, and then boom, you just fall off with it completely. That's what happened with X-Men 97 Season 2. With Doomsday on the horizon, and obviously the X-Men coming back, I'll probably get the X-Men bug at some point this year, and I'll want to catch up on that, especially before Season 2 comes out. Next, we have Ted, another show I have to catch up on. I watched Ted 2 for the first time earlier this year. Pretty solid comedy. The first one I still prefer, but both have their hilarious moments. And from what I've heard with people's opinions that I actually trust, this show is funnier than Ted the movies. That intrigues me. I am going to say catch up on. I'll put it pretty high because I feel like it's one that I will end up getting to just because it is a comedy. It's like a light watch, but I've heard, you know, that it's worth checking out, so might have to do that this year. Next, we have the Punisher special. I'm very excited for this. I'm putting it right here. Punisher is my favorite character from the Daredevil Netflix universe. I prefer him to Daredevil himself. Just Jon Bernthal's performance is so engrossing. The man fully commits to that role, and I adore really what they do with him in both seasons of The Punisher, and any time we've seen him. He steals pretty much every scene he's in Daredevil Born Again, I think undeniably. He's probably the best part about that show. Even though I love what they do with Matt and Karen, I think Punisher shines. He's undeniably a scene stealer. And this special is coming on Disney+. I believe it's going to lead into Brand New Day, the upcoming Spider-Man movie. Sign me up. It seems like it's going to be important. It's going to be like an hour-long special. I want to say Bernthal either wrote or co-directed or co-wrote. Whatever's happening with this, sign me the hell up for more Punisher, all right? Then we got Spider Noir, Nick Cage playing Spider Noir in a live-action Amazon Prime Video TV show. He, of course, voices the character in the Spider-Verse franchise. I am curious about this one. I'm going to put it relatively high. I'm going to go right here, and I'm curious. Just because, what are they going to do? I mean, it feels weird seeing a Marvel property like this not on Disney+. It's going to be on Amazon. How dark is it going to be? How meta is it going to be? Is it going to somehow tie into the Spider-Verse films? Lots of questions revolving around that one. But just to see Nick Cage play this character in live action should be a treat. I'm sure he's going to go bonkers, full Nick Cage, and just full send on a wacky performance at the end of the day. We only have a couple shows left here. The next one is Lanterns, which is a DC Studios show that's covering Green Lantern. You've got a solid cast. I am intrigued by this. We have not seen much at all. I believe the showrunner has experience in television doing pretty solid projects. I would say I'm curious about this one. I would go over these shows. I'd probably go like right here at the top of I'm curious, just because Green Lantern is one of those worlds that's really got untapped potential, right? The movie with Ryan Reynolds has been crapped on, rightfully so, but I feel like we haven't really gotten, you know, a live action Green Lantern ever that people remember or that works. So I'm curious to see what they do, and I really am rooting for DC Studios. I know, you know, Peacemaker Season 2 had a bit of an underwhelming finale, and Superman wasn't fully my thing. Like, it was solid, but it didn't win me over big time, and so I'm waiting for that project that can really wow me under James Gunn's DC Studios, so I'm rooting for it. I want it to succeed. And finally, we've got Ted Lasso Season 4. I think this is coming out this year. Season 3 was marketed as the end of the show, and we all thought it was going to be over, but they decided to come back and do another. I don't think Jamie Tartt's involved. That is a red flag to me. He's one of my favorite characters. I don't know if you can have Ted Lasso without him. I think Roy Kent's involved, but I don't even fully know. If he's not back, again, red flag. So because I'm a little scared about them ruining the perfect ending, like I know season 3 all in all was the worst of the 3 seasons, but it ended on such a high note with that finale. I'm kind of scared, so I'm gonna go at the top of just because I don't know if this is the best idea. It runs the risk of maybe ruining the show and the magic that it once had, but I'm still gonna check it out. Obviously, it's just I'm a little skeptical about them not bringing back some of the original characters and potentially butchering the what I viewed perfect ending for many of those characters in the finale. But that is my tier list ranking of major upcoming 2026 TV shows based on my excitement. Let me know in the comments down below what tiers you would place these shows in, and what is your most anticipated TV show of the year 2026. Of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell. But thank you guys as always for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.